Good morning, Year 10. So it's Mr. Raynor here, Director of Learning at Grove Sixth Form, and just an opportunity to talk to you about what we'd normally be doing at this time of year, which is meeting and discussing your next steps, what your current intentions are and where you're thinking you're going to end up after your GCSEs, and trying to help you as much as possible to support you between that transition between Year 11 onto your next steps, really. So this year more than ever, you may well be thinking that you're slightly apprehensive about this. The circumstances we find ourselves in means that you have lost quite a significant amount of in-school time. And although we've gone to great lengths to try and minimise that gap with the extensive online learning you've been doing, it still might be the case that this has flagged up specific concerns that you might not have had without the particular experiences that have gone over the last few months. So in terms of specific concerns you might currently have, you might be worried about your achievement levels and what grades you might end up with. So you may well have looked into entry requirements of certain sixth form colleges and larger colleges, and you might be thinking that you're potentially going to fall short of that, or your grades that you're going to get might be affected by not being in school for such a significant amount of time. For some of you might be looking at apprenticeship opportunities, and where we see in certain industries and certain sectors struggling because of COVID-19, it might be that you're now starting to worry about the ability for you to achieve an apprenticeship in those areas. With regards to the different regulations that are in place, it could be that we find ourselves within social distancing and health and safety measures for quite a significant amount of time here. And some of you might be reconsidering or thinking about the extent to which you want to travel or the location you might want to be in when you leave Grove School. For some of you, you might just be unsure about what it is you want to do, and where when you were in school you would have received additional support potentially from your tutors, your teachers and the careers team. You may now not have had access to that, so that might be another area that has become more of a concern because we've not been able to go through those processes as usual. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is obviously from Grove Sixth Form perspective. We are your school sixth form, and we are there as a supportive institution to help you move on from Grove School into a higher level of education. Now, for things that we know we're going to be able to do is give you a local provision. Now, Grove Sixth Form is markedly different to Grove School. You won't be staying on at Grove School. You will be moving into a much more mature and independent learning environment, and one that has a fantastic provision to support you the best. So where we're talking about the fact that you may come through the next year and still have certain concerns about certain areas, we're the service that's going to know you best, because we're going to have all that information about you, and we're going to have teachers that are going to have taught you lower down the school that are going to continue to teach you as you progress on to sixth form. When we consider your applications, we'll consider you on the merits of you rather than just your grades alone. We know your approach towards your studies, we know your ability levels, and it's those markers that we'll look at when we judge whether you will have the credentials to move into sixth form courses rather than just simply the grades that you achieve at the end of Year 11. What we're also doing is developing a wider range of courses that hopefully match what you are looking for in your next choices. So where you're kind of considering whether there's the flexibility of options, that's absolutely something that we're currently doing in terms of looking at how we can achieve this by working with different sixth forms across the trust. So what's this morning's session all about? Well, for us, it's important that we understand where you're currently coming from. So completing the questionnaire you've got as honestly and fully as possible will really help both me understand what you're looking for in terms of your next education setting, and in addition, help Miss B to understand where you're coming from and what the sort of things is you're looking for. So be honest for us. If it's not us you're looking at for sixth form next year, then let us know why. Let us know where you are looking and potentially the reasons why that is. Look carefully at the subject and courses that are listed and think about which ones of those you're genuinely interested in doing. And we'll talk about how you can do that in a moment. And try and leave any questions for us about areas you're not sure about. And that will help us follow up with the next session where myself and Miss Beath are going to go through some of the questions you might have about choosing your next step and be able to answer them as successfully as possible. Okay, so in terms of the questionnaire itself, I'm just going to talk through each of them just so you're completely happy with what it is that you're providing in your responses. So obviously write down your name. If that can be your full name, that would be fantastic, and also your current tutor. For question number 1, it's a real big picture question. So in terms of those sort of jobs and careers and those areas you see yourself as being in 10 years' time, what does that look like for you? For some of you, you might be undecided, but try and move beyond just writing not sure to just giving an inkling and an understanding of what sort of things have you looked at, what sort of main themes and areas might you be interested in, and giving a little bit of information is far better than just writing I don't know. In question 2, we're asking you to select which pathway you're looking at. Now, some of you might be looking at a number of these, and I'll explain how you can indicate that in a moment, but just have a look at this and I'll just explain each one and what it means. So for apprenticeships, we're still talking about training-based settings there, but where you'd be spending some time on the job and some time working within a college to work towards a qualification. For your vocational courses, these are courses that are orientated more towards job-specific skills, and I'm going to give you some examples of those in a moment. But if you know it's those more vocational things you're looking at, and it's more a career job-based part of education that you're going to be doing, but doing it full-time, then that's the pathway you're looking at. For those of you looking to progress on more academic courses, and these are really going to be A-levels, these are the option you need to link. So these are the ones for those of you that are looking to go on and do those qualifications. And if you're looking at somewhere that offers a combination of vocational and academic courses, then you can tick that last box. You might well find there's not many settings that do allow you to do some A-levels and some BTECs and Cambridge Technicals. Growth Sixth Form, you can do that. We are actually more flexible than a lot of places. But if you're looking at doing a combination of the two, then that's where you can show that to us. If you, by doing the course question later on, kind of have a change of mind about this, feel free to go back and adjust your answer. If you're genuinely considering more than these, so say you're thinking about doing an apprenticeship, but you're also looking at applying to do vocational courses, then that's fine, tick them both, but next to them, please write down a number that would indicate what your current ranking would be of those. So 1 next to what your first choice option would be, and 2 next to your second choice option. In question number 3, we're asking you to look at where you're considering applying to. So tick as many as you've thought about at the moment, and have a think about that. If there's some others there that you are thinking about applying to, but we've not listed them there, just obviously use the others box and write in for us where it is you're looking to apply to at the moment. For question number 4, I'd just like to look back at question number 3 and give us a sense of your current ranking. So what are you currently thinking about? 1 would be your first choice place. So in an ideal world, where would you go at the moment? 2 would be your second choice, with 3 being your third choice if that's appropriate. Okay, so do your best with that. I appreciate that you've still got a lot of research to do, but that's just an opportunity to show us where your mind's currently at in terms of where you'd ideally end up. In question number 5, I would like to have a go at trying to explain to us the reasons for your decisions in questions 3 and 4. So obviously, as head of Growth Sixth Form, I'd like to know, why you might or might not be looking for us as a potential setting, but also what's drawn you towards those other places. What is it? Is it course choices? Is it the size of the institution? Is it the location? Is it other factors to do with more practical things like transport? So really try and have a think about what's led you to those decisions you're making in 3 and 4 and describe it to your best ability in question number 5. Okay, and question number 6, and this is clipped, so this isn't giving you all the options that you can see on the screen here, but you obviously can see those in your questionnaire. I'd just like you to tick as many subject areas as you're currently interested in studying. So I have split them for you here, and you can see more vocational courses down the left-hand side and more academic courses down the right-hand side. So any that you have considered, give them a tick for us. You can see that some of the courses actually appear in both columns, because for some of these, they can be delivered as both vocational or academic, depending on the style of course that you're looking at. So something like PE can be an A-level, or it can be a more applied subject such as sport. Something like business, again, can be a very academic A-level, or it could be something more applied as a Cambridge Technical or BTEC. Question number 7 is another ranking question. So have a look at all those different course areas you've looked at in 6 and see if you can rank which ones would be your top 3, just to give us a sense of which one would be higher up in your pecking order, which ones are you more seriously intending to look at. If you are thinking about the LLS program, then remember you had that presentation for the guys coming in and talking about entering into a sports career and doing a full-time sports course. That is something that we'll be offering in September 2021. So please work that into your choices there and let us know if that's something you're considering as well. I have spoken to the LLS team in the last week, and they're going to be getting in contact with anybody that left their details with them, which giving you some additional opportunities to engage with them and learn more about that as an offer. So don't forget that that is going to be something we're offering within Growth Sixth Form in September 2021, and to let us know you're interested in that would be really useful. The final question in the questionnaire is question 8. And in there, I just want you to ask any questions you've got that you might have about planning next steps. So anything that you feel either myself or Miss Speaker can answer in terms of helping you prepare to make these decisions, then please write them in here. Anything you're not sure about in terms of understanding apprenticeships and sixth form and college offers, then write them in here and we can record a further session for you that we can get out to you with more information, as well as obviously backing this up, which will hopefully be done face to face from September, giving you lots more information, lots more support, and doing activities like being a sixth former for a day, where you'll come over to the sixth form and do a whole day of lessons and understand what that is like as an experience. So plenty of exciting things coming up. This is really just the first step, and I thank you so much for completing this questionnaire and being really open and honest and detailed with your answers, because it's really going to help prepare to support you as well as we can moving forwards. Okay, thank you, Year 10. Hope you have a really good rest of your term, and we'll see you all very soon.